So today I'm just going to finalize a few things with the drivetrain, get the drive shaft all bolted in and installed, bolt up the axles, finalize the position of the transmission, the engine, and bolt that all in permanently. And then hopefully I can start tackling the radiator. Sick. So now I'm gonna keep trying to fit the radiator in here. I'm gonna bolt the shroud up and mock it up, you know. Dude, I got a Penguin air freshener.
Hey, That's okay. None of my cars have AC. You're fine.
Well, mine had AC this morning.
Mine started. No, but we did smash them with the engine, and
Look at the size.
it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
I know someone from my Z, but the universal one looks exactly the same. I just gave the depth same to all of us.
What's this off of? Supra. Mark IV. You know the one with the 2JZ? You may have heard of it.
Oh, engine you should have gotten. Heyo!
I'm gonna put that in red because it's funny, but I don't approve it, and I hate you.
Think about how exciting it would have been if it just was a 2J.
That I'm not putting. It's too stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
It's better than Evan's like Tercel videos.
Well, yeah.
He's like, hey, you should really get sneakers.
I just came from work. I wasn't planning on being here.
But like, those are destroyed shoes.
Yeah, I know. These are my shop shoes.
But why do you have shop shoes?
Because
those are my chanclas!
He has shop dress shoes.
You know what's cool too? See how far over these pegs are? So what I have to do is I have to get a little rubber grommet that fits around this, and then basically make a little metal bracket.
Are you gonna use these to mount it? Little like strap things?
I might. I'm not sure how well it's gonna work. You look really awkward. This is the most awkward thing ever. This is Josh. Ooh. That'll actually fit them. So but I can't go back and I can't go back any farther. I'm limited by this plate here. I mean, I could go all the way back to this panel.
Yeah, I thought that's what you're saying you were gonna do.
I think that's what I'm gonna do. If I come back to here and cut along that line straight down, I really don't have to notch much out of the frame, but I do have to go like all the way through the frame because it has to sit. So that'll be fun. I'm stuck on something. It's raining outside, so we're gonna take some time to actually just tidy up the shop. There's a lot of parts just laying around everywhere. So let's do that real quick. And it's clean now. You can see Ted is actually rolling around in the amount of space that there isn't parts on the floor. I'm gonna get back to cutting out the frame rails for the radiator. I borrowed a corded angle grinder because anybody who uses those little battery powered ones knows they only like cut for like 15 seconds before they have to like cool down or some stupid stuff. So I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna quickly change into some clothes I don't care about getting dirty real quick. That's better. Ooh. Don't care if this gets dirty.
How
did you come out in the video falling over?
I didn't come out.
You should come out. Be about fucking time.
Need to cut this one like this one. Gonna be pretty close. Didn't really think too much about the height since this is from a Supra. I also just took the opportunity to cut out a lot of the crap that sits in the front here because I'm gonna probably order a Street Faction bash bar to kind of get this front tied together, but that'll leave me more room for the intercooler later. So I'm making these cardboard templates to mock up a closeout for the frame rail, as well as a bracket that's going to hold the bottom of the radiator. So I'm going to fabricate, or attempt to fabricate, both brackets.
Never thought that we'd go this far. Don't stop now. Reaching for a distant star. Don't stop now. Isn't it strange how we're safe and home? So that I'm counting days until the second come. If you're gonna make a change, you have to let me know. Turn the shit around, start to top the youngs. It's all you need to do.
So I'm a complete welding novice, and I don't admit at all to be any good at welding. I'm learning, but I do have to say, that's not terrible. So now that's both sides done and one coat of primer. So I drilled the holes, and this is the radiator sitting in both of those holes. I didn't put the bushing in because I would have had to make a really big hole, and this isn't moving, and it's got a good height up here, so now all I have to do is make a bracket to the support here. So I just made these brackets that are going to hold the top of the radiator. They're pretty odd shape. I bent them in a vise around a socket to get that curve, and then I kind of went back and forth to get the clearance I needed, and that should hold that in kind of like that. So here's what it's going to look like with those two brackets. I'm going to put something on the end here just because it has a little play and I don't want it to rattle, but that's in there now, nice and solid. Here's everything all painted. I wrapped the ends in electrical tape so they have like a little grip. Got everything all painted purple again down there. These radiator hoses are from Ishimoto. They're also for a Supra. I had to remove that little clip that goes in the valve cover for this because it has to kind of slope down to where I mounted it.
Oh, how beautiful is that? It is an absolutely beautiful Saturday, and I'm gonna get a bunch of stuff done. I think Ted's actually going to be getting a bunch of stuff done on his Z too. So I'll probably film a bunch of everything.
Did a leaf stain your car?
Yes. Yes, it is.
So Ted's going to replace his muffler on his Z, and this is what it sounds like now. That's hardy.
Not a fan.
So before I can fill this up with coolant, I have to wire up the fans, finish the heater hoses, and also wire the coolant temp sensor to the gauge so I can make sure it's not overheating. But then I can fill this up and see if it gets to operating temperature. All good. Okay. This is the plug from the back of the gauge cluster. And then this yellow-white wire is the temp gauge, and then this yellow-red wire is the oil pressure gauge. So I'm going to wire the oil pressure and coolant temp wires from the harness to those. So I didn't film much of it, but my buddy Josh just decided to finish up my intake for me. So that should work great. Got the air filter right here. I gotta figure out where to put the MAF, probably somewhere, but that looks great. Pro job, buddy. Pro job. So they just welded on a magnaflow. Let's see if it sounds any better. Oh yeah, there you go. You need a resonator.
Yeah.
But it's better. I'd say it's better.
There's a resonator.
Do you think it sounds better?
Yeah, I think it sounds a lot better.
A lot better.
Is Ted happy? No, there isn't.
There's not?
Go for a drive. No, I pulled them out. Actually, doesn't sound much better.
It's quieter.
Oh, money shot!
Still there.
No, don't worry about it. Planks are gone.
I hate you both.
Here, I moved it. There you go, you're good. You can pull in now. So we have the car jacked up right now, trying to bleed the coolant. I'm waiting for the thermostat to open. So the temp gauge is working. I'm just letting it idle to see how hot this gets. So this is after about 10-minute idle or so, but if this gauge works, then temp never went over operating, which is great. So just to wrap up the radiator install, once you get the brackets all set, which can be a problem depending on which radiator you go with, but I can tell you that if you go with something similar to this, it'll work fine. But once you do that, hooking up the radiator hoses is pretty straightforward, and then all I have to do is just hook up put a coolant reservoir somewhere. Because as of right now, it's just kind of hanging. But yeah, it got up to operating and stayed there, so this should work fine. I'm gonna get a thermo switch for the fans, so that they don't just need to be on all the time. That's it for this video. In the next video, I'm gonna be putting this body kit on, and then once that's on, or at least kind of on, I can put the intercooler and the intercooler piping in, which is great. So if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to keep following along, please subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time.